This comment says, I always think my reactive dog does better in small training class situations as he doesn't react, but now I'm wondering if he's kind of freezing. And this is a great thing to be considering because we want to know, does the dog actually feel relaxed or are they in a functional freeze state? Being relaxed and calm, we might associate with being in a green zone level of stress hormones. We're thinking here more about resources in the body, going towards the thinking parts of the brain, the parasympathetic nervous system, right? Rest and digest. This is where we want our dogs to be to learn, as well as for their behavioral health, their emotional and mental health, and their physical health. We want those healthy levels of stress hormones. So certainly in a training scenario, in a setup, we are aiming for green zone. Functional freeze is happening all the way up in kind of like a super high red. We've gone in a functional freeze past red zone. We've gone past active coping that we see with fight, flight, fawn, or fidget responses. And instead, we're in a functional freeze state that's happening back in the hindbrain. And that is not a great place for our dogs to be in terms of behavioral health, in terms of emotional and mental well-being, and in terms of physical health. The good news is there are ways to tell. One of the reasons it can be so tricky is because when a dog goes into a functional freeze state, they are in a state of hypoarousal. This is more similar to dissociation in humans, although we can't ask dogs if they dissociate. So you're not getting the physiological stress signs that you get in those more active coping spaces. The long lips with wrinkles up here, the panting from an elevated heart rate, the spatulate tongue, the wrinkles here, the adrenalized tense muscles. You're not getting that in a freeze state. We've gone beyond that. So the dog might look very calm. And every dog is an individual, so it's really important to sort of dig in and find the behavioral patterns that align with different stress levels for the individual dog. But generally speaking, in a freeze state, you're going to notice a lack of curiosity. You're going to notice a lack of pro-social behavior. You're going to notice a lack of problem-solving ability. You might see that the dog is struggling to learn what you are trying to teach him in that state. A dog in that state is likely not taking food. And you're going to notice fallout from being in that state later. So you're going to see that the dog, as they come back down from the stress event, they're going back up through their limbic system. They're going back up through fight or flight. You're probably going to see this dog crash. They're going to get a lot more sleep. They're going to sleep really heavily. And then they're going to wake up from that and they're going to be toddler tired. They're going to be kind of getting into everything. You might see an increase in the following days in reactivity and in aggression and other stress-related behaviors. And that can be a good way to assess if that activity was actually beneficial to the dog. We need to gather that data after the fact. Again, every dog's presentation is going to be a little bit different, and so we want to dig into what is true for the individual. I don't want anyone to take any one piece of data here and draw conclusions. We want to look at the whole picture and then decide if we need to make changes.